global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. For a while now, Rivers State has been back and forth over the issue of Fubara, Martins Amaewhule, and his lawmakers, and of course, Wike. In all of this, many riverians, top politicians have been calling out the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to look into this matter and really reining on his minister. Whereas Wike is giving that impression that he is running in, he's holding on strong for Rivers State. Well, I'm going to let you watch a video in a moment to hear what top riverians, top politicians in Rivers State are telling the president. Really, apparently there's really no structure again for Wike. And the fact that looking at the law, of course, we're also going to hear a legal luminary who took time to explain, though CGN Ekon had actually called the Rivers judges and of course the Federal High Court judges to look at the multiple contradictory verdicts and injunction going on to raining on them, of course, but they are also looking at truly does Fubara have a stand on this matter, and of course, do the Martins Amaewhule group, do they have a chance, even when they get to the Supreme Court, do they have a chance of getting back their mandate? Let's listen to them, and we'll come back with my colleague to analyze this.
Two people are not bigger than the Rivers State people. And it's the Rivers State people that are suffering as a result of these two individuals, that their personal interest sometimes is over and above the people's interest. And this nonsense must stop. The president should call Wike to order. He is not a god to Rivers State and can never be. And the truth be told, if he continues like this, he's giving the president the impression that, oh, he is in control of it. He is not. His powers has been taken from him.
The NJC must have had some underlying reasons which are not completely very clear to me now, why they made that directive, or they gave that directive that political matters should be held in Abuja. But what readily will come to mind would be their concerns for security for the judges if peradventure those political cases were allowed to be adjudicated at the various places from where they arose. So that is what readily comes to mind. However, whether this decision is helpful and practical, given the political quagmire we find ourselves in Rivers State, is doubtful, because what it will do is starve the local governments of funds to operate within the purview of their own authority, not just the state government. And so it is the grassroots that ends up suffering. Whether or not the four-man assembly is the proper assembly, I'm not quite sure that was the question before the court. Must also be careful, or the judiciary must also be careful not to be drawn into the arena by the political class, because certain things are clear in the wordings of our constitution, and by the very acts that we have observed in Rivers State, there are things that are also clear to the blind. You have made reference to some reason for why the larger number of the SY Rivers State Assembly defected. But we're also aware that they have, in some other fora, recanted on their defection. So we are at sea now on who actually to believe. If it is such that we go by what we saw on national TV, on social media, Amaewhule and other members of the House defecting, declaring that they had defected. They were even welcomed at a rally of the APC to APC. Then it stands to reason that these are no longer members of the House of Assembly. That the Section 109 takes effect. And therefore, it is for those members who remain members of the House of Assembly who have not defected to take the reins of the legislature and function, pending when INEC will deem it fit to conduct elections to fill the vacant seats.
All right, welcome back. You heard what the lawyer Tonye People Epelle said concerning the standpoint of the law, where if for any reason they defected, the law stands. And of course, the fact that they also use their same mouth to and say they didn't defect, judging the fact that there are evidences everywhere on social media where they said they did mention that they followed due process. All of that if you are going to go through the processes, not being prejudiced, not trying to preempt the judges or preempt the law, but he's of the opinion that going by the constitution, those guys have lost their seat. This one is not contestable, but then again, it depends on the angle through which they will come to. My colleague is in the house, and something the Epelle said something very strong. The Riverian, top Riverian, who said that the impression Wike is giving to the president is the fact that he's still holding strong, that Rivers is still his state and he has structure that can and will deliver him come 2027. And he's telling it to the president that Wike have no structure, it has been shattered. And he should run in on his FCT minister because he has no hold at all in Rivers State. It's not something that he can pocket. Do you agree with him on that?
Well, on the issue of having grip over the people of Rivers State, that's talking about Wike. What he's trying to do is to at least buy time and also send a message across to Fubara's camp. But all of that gained a lot of strength when Fubara was not in the know about who he is in terms of his position as a governor. But right now, if you look at him, he's not even coughing or neither is he fidgeting, no matter the court judgment Wike is obtaining. And just like the discussants have clearly pointed out, I don't think Wike has control over Rivers State again, because everyone who is
not even with Martins Amaewhule and all of them insisting that the law the armed of the law will catch up with them, he still doesn't have any say.
Well, the truth is that Wike has been able to get a hold of the federal judiciary, and he's using that to begin to predict what the future will look like for Fubara. But don't also forget that Fubara is the #1 man of the state, and his immunity still stands. I don't see Fubara allowing certain things to just sail through like that, because one of the issues which Nigerians are waiting for Supreme Court to conclude on is on the issue of their cross carpeting to the order, the provision of the Constitution in respect to that. How are they going to interpret that? That is one point everyone really is waiting for.
Yeah.
But also thinking that the people of Rivers State will watch as the lawmakers will kick Fubara out of the seat. It's totally impossible. It's impossible. First of all, if you look at the process of impeachment, it's something lengthy, because at one point you have to send a message across, to the Attorney General of the state that this is it, this is that. Defenses will come at one point or the other. They need to set up a panel of inquiry who will call the governors, and then they will do deliberation. And those members of the panel of inquiry, it's exclusively the duty of the Attorney General of the Federation to select the people who are going to be sitting there. And right now, every Riverian have an idea that Wike is behind all of this. And I think from there, a lot of things will be concluded. The only thing that I'm a little bit scared of is the fact that development in Rivers State will be hampered. But guess what? One of the moments where we will see the influence of the Rivers State people is when these state legislatures will be going for their second term. That's when we will know that they don't have that level of control they feel they have.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. But before the second term, we're hopeful and trusting that INEC will rise up to the occasion and conduct that by-election they did promise come mid-December 2024. Let's meet in our conversation.